4th of July is one of the busiest holidays on the water, and us here at Tidal Escapes want to give you all the tips and tricks to ensure a safe boating day. And we hope you guys sit and stay a while, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. We're going to take you along on our 4th of July experience.
So to get into the bulk of the details, every year we enjoy this. This is in the Greater Daytona Beach area, which is our local waters. And from there, we've tried launching close to the firework venue, far away, so forth. And every year we do the Ormond Beach firework display, which is shot off on a barge close to the Granada Bridge.
We got an early start on the morning of the 4th of July, and we used High Bridge Park, which is a public boat ramp in Volusia County. And right from the start, we were able to launch with no problems. This ramp in particular offers a lot of amenities such as a bait and tackle shop. You can get ice there, there's public restrooms, and they recently renovated their parking spaces, so everything looks super nice. It's super easy to get in and out of.
I would say some of the negative aspects is, for us, it may sound silly, but because it's not a paved surface, it absolutely destroys your truck, your trailer, the boat. With it not being a paved surface, that like white limestone rock, it gets all over the inside of the truck and so forth. So it's a silly detail, but it's one that honestly kind of steers us away from using it at times. It's also a little bit pretty far north, especially for this day where we're running all the way to Ponce. So you got to be somebody that's willing to be okay with a little bit of a boat ride. It's just part of it, and I think that was one of just the parts that we enjoyed throughout the day. Is like it was a boat cruise kind of a day with a little bit of a destination obviously involved, but a lot of gas burned and just part of the cruising part of it. And it definitely took away some of the aspect of using the crazier, busier ramps. I don't know what it is, but it's this enormous rush for everybody to get on the water as early as they can. And you know, like I said, every year that we've learned and get a little bit of a takeaway, and I feel like you get a perfectly early start and everybody's on the same timeline. So the island fills up really quick, the ICW gets filled really quick with boat traffic. So if you're somebody that's newer, the earlier the start, the better. You're gonna avoid some of the chaos. How early? Probably sunup, to be honest with you. But it's just part of it, and I think the sad part is if you wait too long, there's just no more parking spaces left in some of these ramps in our area. It's just that busy. So with that, if you were out this day, share some of your thoughts down in the comments. We want to hear some of the crazy stories that you maybe saw, heard, were a part of, weren't a part of. You know, start the conversation off, and we always check the comments, and we really want to be involved with it, so share your stories.
So launching was super simple. We were in the water within minutes, and when we went down the ICW, there wasn't a boat in sight for probably about, 20 minutes into the ride? It was very peaceful.
So for us at a 30-mile-an-hour cruise, it's about an hour, hour and a half cruise. And again, some of those positives and negatives is going through Daytona, underneath every single one of the bridges. It's a no-wake zone, or at least a minimum wake zone, depending on what areas you're in. But you know, you're looking at the first zone, it's pretty much a run zone almost all the way once you put in a high bridge. You're gonna hit your first no-wake zone underneath the Granada Bridge. That one's pretty short. You're gonna run all the way through Holly Hill into Daytona Beach. And that first start of the bridge, which is gonna be the Seabreeze Bridge, from that zone all the way until the point that you pass underneath Orange Street Bridge as you're getting past like that Halifax Marina area, is when the next run zone is. So that stretch is the longest, and that's what kind of kills some of the time. for us, it's kind of a catch-22. We want to do it sometimes it's just part of it. You take it in and enjoy it in that time period where you just, in that minimum wake zone, you're connecting with your guests on the boat and just kind of hanging out and catching up. But from there, there's certain times where we launch to the north of it that whole entire area just kills a lot of the day and just takes a really long time to get through. So just part of it, but it's one thing to note with that, and to give a heads up for anybody that may be watching that maybe doesn't know this area, or you are a new boater. Those are the areas to expect to obviously have to slow down. And as a helpful kind of heads up, that area of a no wake minimum zone there in between the Daytona bridges, typically you're gonna see Daytona PD or Sheriff's Office typically sitting there on a busy holiday where it's 4th of July, Memorial Day, Labor Day, big boating weekends. Those are areas that a lot of people blow those zones and they sit there and wait for you.
We were super excited to take my mom out, Mama Kim as we call her, and she got to enjoy the day.
It's good to have mother-in-law now on the boat and just be able to share some of those memories that we've shared in the past and have came home and talked about. But to be able to share those with family is fun.
Yeah, I think she had a good time. We showed you guys Tata Island back in one of our first videos, the Ponce Inlet Guide, and you'll see in this video the water clarity is absolutely beautiful versus the time we showed you it then.
Full high tide on 4th of July this year was like at 12:58. So as the day progressed, it just got clearer and clearer and clearer. And I'd assume most know, but if you don't, catching any of the sandbars, and this goes for a lot of Florida sandbars, if you catch that on typically, that last hour till, and I would say at full slack tide of a high tide, those are gonna be the clearest water days. I think we chanced out. We had some really great neighbors. The guy that we pulled in behind was totally cool with us kind of blocking in, and I established that role early on of being friendly and nice. Shook the guy's hand, introduced myself, said, hey, listen, man, I know that I'm blocking you in. I know you have a bigger boat, so as the tide switches and is starting to recede, he's gonna have to push his boat back. And I said, listen, let's work together. Be happy to move when you need to move. You just let me know. But overall, appreciate just willingness to have us around, and look forward to being neighbors throughout the day, So I think it's all about kind of that camaraderie and making sure that you're nice to people and they're nice back to you. Sometimes it doesn't always happen, but those days when you got really good people around you, it totally changes for, I think, the better in having those really good island days. Great time, and that being said, this time of the year, the thunderstorms are really bad. So I think all day long we kind of had our heads on a swivel. We knew maybe like that 3 o'clock mark, there was gonna be some bad thunderstorms rolling in, and we slowly packed up, ended up heading a few of the restaurants, and this is like more of that kind of killing the time for the fireworks, which that 9 o'clock mark was what we were trying to hit, which is when they start launching the fireworks off. So if you made it this far along in the video, we definitely appreciate it, because this is the part of the fireworks display that we want to really give some helpful information on that we've learned throughout the years. I think this year we finally dialed it in where we didn't screw up anything. But in prior years, we either got too close or we're in the wrong spot or whatever that may be. So happy to get into some of those details here. So to start off, the barges stage underneath of the Granada Bridge. They tie it off to get ready there. And as it gets closer to the show, they end up pushing that out pretty far away from the Granada Bridge. I'm gonna call it probably 1,500 feet to maybe 2,000 feet from it. It's a good bit further away than you'd think it really is. And it's just a big huge barge, so it looks like it's maybe closer than it really is because how big it is. But for us, there's a few years we would get there, we got all anchored, all situated, got to fire up the grill, you know, cooking maybe steaks or something before. And before you know it, the sheriff boat comes in and they push everybody back. So this year we finally kind of figured it out, and if it's helpful information, every year that we've done it in the past years, there's a big motor yacht called Gale Winds, and they're there every year. It's a beautiful boat, but they're huge. They sit right in the big middle of the channel. But granted, they do it every year. That's kind of your like placement point, right? They know exactly where to sit. That boat is not going to pick up anchor, especially with how many boats are around it. So use that as your reference point. And I do believe that there's like these little floating squares with like a road sign on them that marks as close as that you can get. So keep an eye out for that. Also, to get into it, the outsides of the ICW are pretty shallow. They're only a few feet deep. For us, really not an issue. For a lot of others, I assume it's not an issue. It's really just a muddy bottom, so there's really nothing to hit, such as like an oyster bed or anything. But there ain't much water, so keep that in mind.
I think one of the things that makes celebrating the 4th of July on the water is the fireworks display and being able to see it right from your boat. And something special to note is that my dad's friend runs the whole show, so he's kind of in charge of the displays at multiple locations throughout the county and into the next county as well. So it's just a really cool aspect. Even since my childhood, we've been out there, you know, supporting him and seeing all the different displays. So it's pretty cool to have that in our back pocket.
And I think there's an energy to visiting the show on the water that just doesn't exist on land. I just love looking around and looking at the different boats, either rafted up, you know, there's either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boats all rafted up. Grills are fired up, everybody's laughing, having a good time, taking pictures. There's a different vibe to it with other like-minded boaters on the water. And I think it's just a really unique aspect. I know there's a lot of fireworks shows that are on the water, but for us, out of all the ones that we've experienced, this is definitely one of our favorites.
You have to experience 4th of July on the boat.
So one of the last key details that we've learned throughout the years is after the show. This has to be on paper, in the past, one of the absolute scariest moments that we've had on the boat with the closest calls and just an overall really bad feeling of feeling unsafe on the boat. You know, the very first year, I think by that time it's getting later, and just like a firework display show, when you go in your car at maybe a fairground or something, everybody gets in their car and it's like you just stepped on an ant pile and everybody just scatters. Our things throughout the years is to know, sit tight, let everybody disperse, and kind of be the last one to go if you want to be smart about it. I think one of the scariest aspects is everybody sits there and not to sugarcoat it, but they're all getting liquored up and it's 4th of July and everybody's partying. You got a lot of people in the water that either don't have any kind of experience on the water at night or very limited, and then you add alcohol on the top of it, it's pretty scary. So we've had instances where we've had just a mosh pit of boats. You know, you're running through a narrow ICW at that point. It's a lot of water, but as far as the deep water goes, it's only as wide as really 2 boats passing each other. But you got 3 boats running wide. You got this guy next to you, you got no lights on, period. You got another boat that's running up fast that wants to pass everybody that's impatient. Definitely one of the scariest moments for sure that we've had. So that being said, we've learned just stay put, let everybody go that's in a rush, and just enjoy it. I mean, you're already there late at night. You've already been out for 12 plus probably hours milking the day. Yeah, what's another hour? So that's what we've learned, and I think that we've actually kind of grown to enjoy that. I thought launching to the north would be a little bit better than that, and it wasn't. There was still some traffic going to the north, and I still think that we could have waited a little bit longer, but for the sake of the video, I kind of wanted to leave and go and get to experience that, so then that way I could see, hey, was this a difference or not? And definitely a little bit better running to the north than to the south than past years, and I think the rain kind of scared some people off of the water, so it was a little bit lighter than it was in past years. But
I don't know, but I feel like too, remembering that, like launching in High Bridge, there was like hardly any traffic. And even when we got back after a long day, you want to get off the water anyway, so it was nice to not have a line of boats you're waiting for them to load up their boat and head out.
Yeah, because in past years, coming back late at night, I think one year we launched at like the LPGA's like public boat ramp that's there in Holly Hill, and same thing there. You pull in and I mean there's a line of people waiting to get their boats back on the trailer. To kind of avoid that, which is nice. There was a few people loading up by the time that we got back to High Bridge, but very minimal, and I think everybody that does that is probably in the same mindset, right? Where they're like, hey, I kind of want to avoid the craziness, so I assume a lot of people kind of ventured out that way to do the same as what we did.
It has its pros and cons, but I feel like for the day it worked for what we were trying to do.
So with some exciting news, a new venture that we pulled on was working as a collaborator with Better Boat Products. And we're super happy for this because we're gonna be able to pull in some information about some of those cleaning products and some of their trailer boating accessories. Their lineup of product is pretty extensive. So that being said, we'll get into it a little more detail maybe in the next video. But with that said, we'll put a discount code down below, which is Tidal Escapes. It's gonna get you 10% off on 50 bucks more that you spend with them. And then we get a little bit of a kickback too as well, and it's gonna help the channel. So
thank you guys so much for watching the video, and we hope this is a trip that you can replicate in years to come. We're having a blast here at Tidal Escapes. We're already over a year old, which is great. We want to keep giving you guys helpful information and informative videos.
Now we want to hear too as well, like what's your yearly traditions for 4th of July? What's maybe something that we should try next year that you guys, have done maybe years and years and years past with your family? If you're somebody that's a little more seasoned, we'd love to check it out.
Yeah, drop us a comment. We love to talk, so let us know.
Sounds good. With that, we appreciate it. Thank you for watching. If you found any of the information helpful, obviously there's a lot of work that goes into this, so definitely if you like the video, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, it definitely helps us out. But with that, go check out some of our other videos as well too if you haven't already. But with that, we're Tidal Escapes.
And we'll see you in the next one. Bye guys, thank you.